It's true. Let me tell you something that most people will never admit to themselves. There is a moment, one single moment, where your entire life splits into two paths. On one side is the life you keep complaining about. On the other side is the life you keep dreaming about. And the terrifying part? You are standing at that fork right now, today, while you're watching this video. Most people will watch something like this, feel a little spark, and then go right back to the exact same routine tomorrow morning. They'll hit the snooze button. They'll scroll for another hour. They'll tell themselves, I'll start Monday. And Monday never actually comes, does it? Because the truth is, change was never about Monday. It was never about the new year, the new job, or the new relationship. Change happens in a single decision, made in a single second, by a person who finally got sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want you to think about your life right now. Not the version you post online. Not the version you tell your friends about. The real one. The one you live in your own head at 3 in the morning, when nobody else is watching. Are you proud of it? Or are you quietly disappointed, hoping that someday, somehow, things will magically get better on their own? Here's the hard truth nobody wants to hear. Things don't get better on their own. Time doesn't fix anything. Time only makes things more permanent. The habits you have today, if left unchanged, will be the exact same habits you have in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. The only difference is, you'll be older, more tired, and more convinced that it's too late to change. That is the real tragedy. Not failure, not falling down. The real tragedy is a life that was available to you, fully within your reach, that you let slip by one lazy day at a time. But here's the good news, and I mean this with everything in me. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are not too late. Every single person who has ever transformed their life, every person who went from broke to wealthy, from weak to strong, from lost to purposeful, started in a moment exactly like this one. They didn't have some secret advantage. They didn't have more time than you. What they had was a decision, a real one. Not a wish, not a hope, but a decision backed by action, repeated daily, even when it was hard, even when nobody was clapping for them. So stay with me for the next few minutes, because I'm going to walk you through exactly what separates people who transform their lives from people who stay exactly where they are. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you will see your own life differently. You will understand why some days you feel unstoppable, and why other days you feel like giving up completely. And most importantly, you'll understand the one shift in thinking that changes everything else after it. Because it's true, this isn't about motivation. Motivation fades. This is about something deeper, something that outlasts motivation entirely. Let's talk about it. The first truth you need to accept is this. Your life right now is the sum of every small choice you've made up until this point. Not the big dramatic moments. Not the one time you failed at something huge. The small, boring, unremarkable choices you made every single day. What time you woke up, what you ate, whether you read a book or watched another video, whether you saved money or spent it the moment it hit your account. None of these choices felt important in the moment. That's exactly why they were so powerful. Small choices are sneaky. They don't announce themselves. They don't feel like they're building or destroying anything. But give them a year, give them 5 years, and you'll see they were quietly building the entire structure of your life, brick by brick, whether you were paying attention or not. Here's something most people get completely backwards. They think discipline is about punishing yourself. They think it means waking up at 5 in the morning feeling miserable, forcing yourself through a life you hate, just gritting your teeth until you die. That is not discipline. That is misery, dressed up as productivity. Real discipline is the opposite. Real discipline is choosing, right now, in this moment, the version of yourself you actually want to become, and then simply showing up for that version every single day. It's not about hating your current self. It's about respecting your future self enough to not sabotage them. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you are stealing from your future self. Every time you choose growth over comfort, even in some tiny, invisible way, you are investing in a future that your current self may never fully see, but will absolutely feel. Now, let's talk about something that will probably make some of you uncomfortable. And honestly, it should. The people around you matter more than you think. Not because you need to abandon everyone you love, but because you become an average of the people you spend the most time with. Their habits become your habits. Their excuses become your excuses. Their ceiling quietly becomes your ceiling, even if you never noticed it happening. If everyone around you is comfortable staying exactly where they are, complaining about the same things, settling for the same mediocre outcomes, it becomes incredibly hard for you to want something bigger. Not impossible, but hard. And here's the open loop I want you thinking about for the rest of this video. The moment you start changing yourself, some people around you will not celebrate it. Some will quietly resent it. We'll come back to why that happens, and more importantly, what to do about it, in just a few minutes. Let's talk about failure for a second, because this is where most people quit before they ever really start. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that failure means something is wrong with you, that if a plan doesn't work, if a business fails, if a relationship ends, if you don't hit the goal on time, it proves you're not capable. This belief has probably cost you more dreams than any actual failure ever could. Because here's the truth, nobody sits you down and explains clearly enough. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a required ingredient of success. Every person you admire, every person who built something remarkable, has a graveyard of failed attempts behind them that you simply never see. You only see the highlight reel. You see the finished result, the confident interview, the success story. You don't see the 4 businesses that collapsed before the 5th one worked. You don't see the 100 rejections before the 1 yes. If you're waiting for a guarantee before you try, you will wait forever. Because guarantees don't exist. Certainty is not required for courage. Courage is required for certainty to eventually show up. Let's go back to that open loop about the people around you. Because this part is important and deeply personal for a lot of people watching right now. When you start changing, waking up earlier, saying no to things that drain you, saying yes to things that scare you, some people will feel threatened by that. Not because they hate you. Usually it's the opposite. It's because your growth accidentally holds up a mirror to their own stagnation, and that mirror is uncomfortable to look at. They may joke about your new habits. They may call you different, like it's an insult. They may pressure you, without even realizing it, to go back to the old version of you that made them feel comfortable. This is not your responsibility to fix. Your job is not to shrink yourself so other people feel better about staying the same. Your job is to become who you're capable of becoming, and let that inspire the people who are ready, while gently releasing the ones who aren't. That sounds harsh, but it's one of the most loving things you can do, both for yourself and eventually for them. Because the people who truly love you will catch up, or they'll cheer you on from wherever they are. Either way, you keep moving. Now here's something that changes the entire game once you truly understand it. Change is not one giant leap. It is not some dramatic Hollywood moment where your entire life flips overnight. Real change is boring. It's unglamorous. It's a person going to bed slightly earlier than they want to, 3 nights in a row. It's a person choosing water instead of soda, one single time, and then doing it again the next day. It's a person opening a book instead of opening an app for just 10 minutes, when every part of them wants to scroll instead. None of these moments feel life-changing while you're living them, but stack enough of these boring, unglamorous choices on top of each other, and one day you look up and realize you have quietly become an entirely different person. Not because of one big moment, but because of 1,000 small ones nobody else was watching. I want you to picture 2 versions of yourself, 1 year from today. The first version kept doing exactly what you're doing right now. Same habits, same excuses, same, I'll start tomorrow. 1 year from now, that version is not better. In fact, They're probably a little more tired, a little more frustrated, a little more convinced that change isn't really possible for them. Now picture the second version, the one who, starting today, made one small decision and stuck with it. Not perfectly, not without bad days, but consistently enough that it became part of who they are. That version, 1 year from now, doesn't even recognize the person they used to be. Both of these people are you. Both are entirely possible. The only difference between them is the decision you make after this video ends. So let's bring this all together, because I promised you clarity, and I intend to deliver it. Changing your life forever isn't about waiting for motivation, because motivation is unreliable and temporary. It isn't about waiting for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is a myth designed to keep you comfortable. It isn't about becoming someone completely different overnight, because that kind of change doesn't exist and never has. Changing your life forever is about small, boring, consistent decisions made daily, especially on the days you don't feel like making them. It's about protecting your future self from the short-term comfort your current self keeps demanding. It's about accepting that failure isn't proof you should quit. It's proof you're actually trying. And it's about understanding that some people won't come with you on this journey. And that's not a tragedy, that's just the natural cost of growth. You didn't come across this video by accident. Some part of you is tired of watching life happen to you instead of happening because of you. Some part of you already knows exactly what needs to change. You've probably known for a while. This video didn't teach you anything you didn't already feel deep down. All it did was say it out loud. So here is your moment. Not tomorrow, not Monday. Right now, today, pick one small thing, one habit to start, one habit to stop, and do it before you close this video. Because a year from now, you are going to become someone. The only real question is whether that someone is built by accident, or built on purpose, by you. If this video reached you at the right moment, if even one sentence in here felt like it was speaking directly to you, I want you to do 2 things right now. First, drop a comment with the one thing you're going to change starting today. Say it out loud, in writing, so it becomes real, instead of just a thought floating in your head. Second, if you want more honest, no-fluff content like this to keep you accountable, hit subscribe, because this is only the beginning of the version of you that's about to show up. You are not too late. You are not stuck. You are simply one decision away from a completely different life. So make it, right now. I'll see you in the next one.